So there's new evidence out of Donald Trump's criminal culpability for avoidable COVID deaths. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So evidence continues to come out that reinforces an already strong case that Donald Trump is criminally responsible for avoidable COVID deaths. Here's the new reporting from CNN. House committee releases new evidence from investigation into Trump administration interference with CDC during COVID-19 pandemic. The House Select Committee on the Coronavirus Crisis released to CNN on Friday new evidence showing how U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention officials were pressured by Trump administration officials to alter scientific guidance and prevented from communicating directly with the public. Dr. Nancy Messonnier, the former director of the CDC's National Center for Immunization and Respiratory Diseases, said she was made aware that then-President Donald Trump was angered by a February 25, 2020 debriefing during which she warned the public about the dangers of the coronavirus. Other CDC officials described how requests to hold briefings about mask guidance and pediatric COVID-19 cases and deaths were denied. When asked about a CNN report that CDC officials felt muzzled, Dr. Ann Schuchat, CDC's former principal deputy director, said, "That is the feeling that we had, many of us." Donald Trump is responsible for avoidable COVID deaths. I want to talk for a few minutes about the law of the District of Columbia when it comes to the crime of involuntary manslaughter, a relatively low level of homicide, below first-degree murder, second-degree murder, voluntary manslaughter. I want to talk about involuntary manslaughter. So there are three elements, three things that a prosecutor would have to prove to hold Donald Trump accountable for involuntary manslaughter. Number one, that Donald Trump acted in a grossly negligent way. He engaged in grossly negligent conduct. And when you lie to the American people about the nature, the transmissibility, the danger of a deadly virus, oh, you bet you engage in grossly negligent conduct. Frankly, far beyond. You engage in intentional misconduct. The second element, Donald Trump's grossly negligent conduct was reasonably likely to result in death or serious bodily injury. Again, when you're dealing with a deadly pandemic and you're lying to the public about it, easily that second element is fulfilled. The third element, that Donald Trump's grossly negligent conduct that was reasonably likely to result in death or serious bodily injury, thereby caused the death of another. Now, importantly, causation has a specific legal definition under the laws of the District of Columbia. Causation doesn't mean Donald Trump shot someone, stabbed someone, strangled, bludgeoned, poisoned someone. Causation means that Donald Trump's conduct was a substantial factor in bringing about the death of another. Let me give you one concrete example of 1,000 why that is so. Remember reporter Jeff Mason? Remember what happened during a White House press briefing? Here is how it was reported at the time. This from the Business Insider. Trump mocks reporter for being politically correct by wearing a face mask outside. Remember that? Donald Trump told Jeff Mason take off the mask. Jeff Mason said, no, Mr. President, I choose to protect myself. He said, oh, yeah, I guess you want to be politically correct. Mocked Jeff Mason. What did Donald Trump's base take away from that exchange? Well, Donald Trump's base supporters, the people who for whatever reason choose to listen to him, they are entitled to make their day-to-day decisions, their behavioral decisions, their life decisions based on what the President of the United States says and does. And when he says it's a hoax, when he said there's nothing to worry about, when he says if you wear a mask, you are worthy of being mocked and demeaned, up to and including by the President of the United States, do you think Donald Trump's base took away from that the message, I don't have to wear a mask, and I am not going to wear a mask because the President thinks you're worthy of being mocked if you wear a mask? Yeah. Donald Trump caused the death of others. That is, his conduct was a substantial factor in bringing about the death, in setting up the circumstances that allowed this deadly virus to spread like wildfire. Yet Donald Trump is criminally responsible for avoidable COVID deaths. Friends, if it were me, on January 21st, 2021, had I not retired as a homicide prosecutor, I would have been in the grand jury presenting all of the evidence, fully, fairly, and in an apolitical way, presenting all of the evidence to the grand jury. What Donald Trump did, what Jared Kushner did, when he said, let's let it run wild because it's impacting the blue states more than it's impacting the red states. Mike Pence, who was the head of the coronavirus task force, and who let Donald Trump's lies go unchecked, unaddressed, and uncorrected. I would have presented it all to the grand jury. You couldn't have stopped me. And then at the end of the investigation, I would have asked the grand jury, sitting as the conscience of the community, ladies and gentlemen, do you believe there's enough evidence to indict Donald Trump and perhaps others for involuntary manslaughter for the avoidable COVID deaths he is responsible for in the District of Columbia under D.C. law? I would have sought an indictment, because justice matters. Friends, as always, please stay safe. Please stay tuned. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.